I don't care what kind of expensive meals that you've eaten in Japan, but as far as I'm concerned, there is no better meal in all of Japan than going to have koko ichibanya curry topped with a namatamago. That is the absolute best meal that Japan has to offer. Good evening, chemist in Japan de gozaimasu. I give you Waigugi.
I write about life in Japan for Gaijin Pot, and I'm doing a series of interviews with people on YouTube, which I hope to make into like 3 different articles. And for my first one, I have asked a couple of vloggers to answer some quick and easy questions about their lives in Japan or what brought them to Japan. And this is one of the interviews with Chemist in Japan. Hello.
Good day.
My first YouTube interview. I did most of the interviews via email, but this is the video one, which is kind of cool.
I'm happy to oblige.
So the questions are as follows. Number 1. What brought you to Japan?
A Boeing 777.
I'm gonna have to edit that out.
This is a question that is asked of me quite often, um, mainly by real life people. Um, and I never know how to answer that question. I never know what, suddenly sparked the interest. As I mentioned in one of my previous blogs, it was the fact that a friend of mine showed me Cowboy Bebop, and suddenly I decided to learn Japanese. And it was all downhill from there. Really, it ruined everyone's life. Um, I I guess I was kind of predisposed to this kind of thing. Again, as I've mentioned before, I had a very big interest in opera growing up, and so I was always used to experiencing things in foreign languages, even from when I was very, very young. And but for some reason, I never was, encouraged, or nothing ever caused me to want to learn French, German, Italian. But that didn't change the fact that I loved opera any less. Um, but for some reason, I'm not quite sure why. Perhaps it was the circumstances that I was in my life, and it came at an opportune time. But for whatever reason, seeing Japanese culture, listening to Japanese language, sparked an interest, and that really was the end of my normal life. It has now decayed into what you have seen here.
Number 2. What brought you to YouTube?
The internet. Well, what brought me to YouTube? Originally, back when I was living in Japan, I started a channel that was basically dedicated to train videos that I had taken of trains in Japan. Um, I was in none of the videos. I didn't speak in any of the videos. It was just all about the trains, and I started there. Um, then I came back to the U.S. and I maintained the channel. I posted videos occasionally when I dug through my footage and found something that I thought was worthy. I posted something. Um, but I didn't really get involved in YouTube personally, myself with other people, until December of last year. And the reason, I guess, that I came to YouTube was because it was late December, and if everything had gone as planned last year, I would have been in Japan again for the winter holidays, winter break from school. And unfortunately, funding didn't work out, and I couldn't go. And basically, I was feeling tremendously homesick. And I figured, you know, there had to be some interesting videos on YouTube. I'd always been a YouTube user, I think, not much of a YouTube interactor. Can you use that as a word? But I started watching videos by the very popular Japan vloggers, and then I was again suddenly hit with the need to respond to one of Victor's videos. Give me a break, man. And actually, that video was not about Japan at all. It was one of his other videos. But I sat and I watched hours and hours of YouTube videos from the J-vloggers, and it kind of just spiraled out of control, really. You know, like a giant asteroid going to smash the Earth. It was just really not stoppable. And I kept making comment after comment on different videos, and then I felt the urge, the need to make video responses, and it just, you know, really, again, brought a dark page to YouTube, my presence. But that was basically it. I was terribly homesick and kind of just wanted to see something of Japan, and it became what it has now, which is, I'm not sure good or bad, if that's up to other people to determine. But yes, homesickness. Homesickness is what brought me to YouTube.
Number 3.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
How would you describe your YouTube channel?
Well, the only real word that comes to mind is of course boring. My YouTube channel is quite boring. It's really what people watch, you know, to help fall asleep. It's a great sleep aid. You know, they put it on, you know, like music, you know, but they put it on before they go to bed, and after hearing me prattle on about chemistry, they're out like a light. Really, is that's how I would describe my channel, is a boring. I mean, as evidenced by the fact that you know, all these hate emails that I get about it being so boring. But yes, my channel, I describe, I have it set as guru, and basically because none of the other categories really fit me. I'm not an entertainer, I'm not a director, I'm not a comedian. I guess I could have set it to variety, but then I thought I'd have to host a variety show, you know, like they have on television all the time in Japan, variety shows. So I thought guru, with my wanting to help people with knowledge, fact, I guess, opinion, certainly, about Japan and chemistry and all those kinds of things. So guru just seemed to make sense. But I guess storyteller might be more apt, as many of my videos is just me reminiscing about the past, telling stories, and you know, I don't really, you know, want to sit here and tell people that Japan is this and Japan is that. Basically, kind of the groove that I fell into really was just talking about what happened to me, and whatever knowledge or value that anyone gets out of hearing me tell a story, is certainly up to them. But I guess that really describes my channel. Did any of that make sense at all? I don't know.
Thanks for participating.
Thank you for asking me. It was a pleasure. If there's any other way that I can screw up this article for you, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching.